My daughter didn't speak to me for 5 years. Birthdays, holidays, Mother's Days, Sundays, nothing. I still sent her messages and cards like clockwork. Then she saw a photo of my new car on Facebook, and last night she called. Dinner tomorrow at 6. Bring $190. She was expecting a check. I brought something else. It was a sticky August morning in Cleveland. My coffee had cooled on the kitchen table, and my laptop showed the kind of slow, steady returns that let an old woman sleep. Nothing flashy, just patience doing its quiet work. The kind of numbers you get after a lifetime of getting up when the alarm goes off and going to bed when your knees say, "Enough already." I was thinking about hosing down the patio, maybe deadheading the roses, when my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I almost let it ring out. Almost. "Hello? Mom, it's Lena." The room dropped 10 degrees. 5 years of silence, and her voice slipped under the door like a cold draft. "I'm having dinner tomorrow at 6. Same address. You should come. And bring $190. Just like that. No, how are you? No, I miss you. No, I'm sorry. A time, a number, a demand. "Lena, I don't understand." "It's not complicated," she said. "Tomorrow at 6. Don't be late." Click. I set the phone down and listened to the house breathe. The fridge hummed. Somewhere, a dog barked twice and gave up. I took a sip of the cold coffee and stared at the ordinary things that always make sense. The magnet on the fridge from a long-ago vacation. The crooked little clay dish Lena once made in kindergarten. The stack of coupons I would never use. That phone call did not make sense. 5 years earlier, I sold my construction outfit. People always seemed a little surprised that a woman ran a construction company, but surprise never once helped me pour a foundation or keep a crew safe. I dragged that business from a one-van scramble to a real outfit with benefits and safety meetings. 4 decades of winters, overtime, busted knuckles, and standing in the cold waiting on concrete trucks that were always 5 minutes away. After the sale, I gave Lena and her husband Miles $220 cash, plus part of their down payment for the house they swore they couldn't possibly afford without help. I thought it was generous. Apparently not. Back then, Miles stood in my living room, arms crossed like a closing attorney who'd forgotten he was talking to the woman who'd helped pay his bills more than once. "You walked away with more than $1 million and tossed us crumbs," he said. "We deserve half." That word, deserve, bends people out of shape if they hold it too tight. Lena didn't argue with him. She didn't defend me. She stared at the carpet and said, cool as February, "If you were fair with your family, we wouldn't be here." We weren't here again for a long time. I kept sending birthday notes, holiday texts, the occasional thinking of you or a picture of a sunset she would have loved when she was 15 and sentimental about the sky. Most messages fell into a pit. A couple of cards came back in the mail, stamped "Return to sender." And I don't care what anyone says, that ink leaves a bruise you feel in your ribs. After her call, I opened Facebook. I hardly use it, but the day before I'd posted the new car, an Audi A8, silver on black, about $110 out the door. Dumb to buy, maybe, but earned one lunchbox at a time. Tight cabin, quiet ride, a soft reward for years in steel-toed boots and reflective vests, for being the only woman on more job sites than I can count, for coming home with dust in my hair and concrete in the lines of my hands. The post had the usual likes from neighbors and old crew guys who still call me boss or ma'am, depending on the day. And there it was, in the seen by list, Lena Moore. Not once. 3 times that night. I took a screenshot, not to be petty, to make sure I wouldn't lie to myself later. 5 years of silence, then a car photo, then a demand for $190. She'd done the math. If mom can buy that, mom can help. It wasn't love, it was ledger work. So I did some ledger work of my own. I pulled a card from my desk. Ava Kim, attorney. She had handled contracts for me back when every signature smelled like wet concrete and fresh lumber, when I still signed things with grit under my nails. The receptionist offered me next Wednesday. I can be there today, I said, using the voice I used to save for building inspectors who wanted to bump a pour to Monday because of scheduling. Somehow, 4 p.m. appeared. I printed statements. I found my old will. I stapled proof of the $220 I'd given them, dates, amounts, bank stamps. I wasn't going to show up with a story. I was going to show up with a file. Before I left, I stood at the back door and looked over the little yard. Hostas along the fence, a bird bath I still haven't leveled, fresh screws in the gate where the wood had sagged. You spend a life building things that don't talk back. Fences, sheds, beams, spreadsheets. And then the people you love figure out the silence can be a crowbar. I decided not to let it pry me open anymore. Ava shook my hand like we were setting rebar. I laid out the timeline. 5 years of nothing, the car photo, the $190 demand. I slid the gift receipts, the will, the screenshots across the table. "What do you want to do?" she asked. "I want a new will," I said. "Lena's out. Everything goes to the Great Lakes Trades and Veterans Fund. My old guys know them. They train vets for welding, electrical, crane, you name it. And they've started taking more women, too. Women who don't want to ask anyone for a dime once they've got a trade." "It's your right," she said, "but she can contest." "My understanding is I can disinherit an adult child," I said, "as long as we document it clean." "Right," she said, "so we document it clean. Make it a brick wall," I said. "We'll add a no contest clause," she said, plain and simple. "If someone fights the will, they forfeit whatever they might have gotten." "Good. We'll also create a clear record you're of sound mind. Your doctor and a psychologist. Standard. Set it up." For the next hour, we went line by line. Witnesses, notarization, asset lists, exact language. She talked like a foreman, reading specs. I answered like one. I'd spent my life reading blueprints. This was just another kind of build. "Tomorrow morning," she said at last, "I'll be here when you unlock the door." "One more question," she said. "Do you want to keep this private?" "No," I said, "not remotely." She weighed me for a beat, like 2 pallets on a lift. "I'll prepare multiple notarized originals." The next day, I signed the will in 5 notarized copies. The notary, Dana Brooks, pressed the heavy seal into the paper, each stamp a small circle of relief. "Most folks keep one original and tuck it away," she said. "I'm not most folks," I said. She laughed from somewhere honest. I walked out with a thick envelope and that quiet calm that shows up when a plan moves from talk to ink. Their neighborhood looked like a brochure. New shutters, surgical lawns, those faux stone mailboxes with a contractor's yard sign stuck in the grass to remind everyone what it cost. The house was a 2-story colonial with pro-landscaping and a porch that wanted to be admired. The light was already on when I pulled to the curb. Lena opened with a smile that had practice marks. Miles trailed with a handshake and the kind of eye contact you learn at sales seminars. The dining table was magazine-ready. Candles, cloth napkins, restaurant food poured into their own dishes like we all agreed to pretend. We did the small talk. Lena asked about my blood pressure. Miles asked about market volatility, which is a polite way to ask how your portfolio's doing without looking like you're asking. After the main course, Miles leaned back like he was easing into a pitch. "There's an opportunity I'd love to run by you," he said. He spoke fluent buzzword. Fast-growing corridor, securitized debt, 21% annualized, and not a single address, permit number, or partner's full name. Lena nodded in rhythm. "Mom, we're finally building something real," she said. "It would mean the world to have you with us." I let the performance end. Then I reached into my bag and slid 2 notarized copies across the table. "What's this?" Miles asked. "Read," I said. I watched the moments line up on his face. Confusion, comprehension, anger. His chair screeched. "You brought your will to dinner?" Lena read slower. Her expression fell apart, but not like grief, more like someone finding a locked door on a store they were sure would be open. "You called after 5 years of silence and told me to bring 190. I figured you should know exactly where you stand. You're not in my will. The fund is." "I'm your daughter," she said, voice shaking. "You are, but then you became a stranger who only dials when there's money on the line. I stopped financing bad behavior the day you priced our relationship. Choices cost. We'll fight this. You're not well. This is diminished capacity. I'm fine. Ask my doctor. Ask the psychologist. Ask the notary. Ask the witnesses. It's legal, filed, and final." I stood, gathered the envelope, and walked to the door. Behind me, their voices tangled. Blame, strategy, panic. At the curb, the Audi felt less like a trophy and more like a tool that could get me home. I started the engine and drove. The next morning, my phone looked like a slot machine. Missed calls, texts, unknown numbers. I made coffee first. You don't sort chaos without caffeine and a pencil. I screenshotted everything before I opened a single message. Then I built folders on my computer. Texts, emails, voicemails, timeline. Construction taught me this. Documentation is armor. Lena's first messages were soft. "Please call me. We can talk. I'm sorry." By lunch, the tone flipped. "You're cruel. After everything I've endured, how could you?" Miles stuck to lawyer words. Undue influence, litigate, expensive. I saved everything, labeled, time-stamped. Then I booked appointments. Dr. Sonia Patel, my primary care, for a cognitive workup. And Dr. Rebecca Doyle, a psychologist who does competency evaluations for elder clients. Ava said it wasn't just smart, it was standard. A competency evaluation simply proves you're of sound mind when you sign estate papers. That afternoon, Lena pulled into my driveway, marched onto my lawn, and started shouting about, "What kind of mother does this?" I stood inside, phone camera running from the window frame. Hank O'Rourke, my neighbor 2 doors down and a retired cop with the back like a fence post, walked over slow. "Ma'am," he said, calm as a porch fan, "you need to leave this property, now." She left in a squeal of tires and an unfinished threat. I saved the video, texted Hank a thank you, and filed both under evidence. 2 quiet days went by like wet paint drying. Then Ava called. "They hired Trevor Glass," she said. "Aggressive, predictable. He'll contest the will on capacity and duress." I figured. I said, "What's our next move?" We hit back with clean documentation: physician report, psychologist evaluation, notary affidavit, your timeline. And there's another option. I'm listening. Irrevocable charitable trust. Plain English? I asked. "Move assets now," she said. "Once transferred, they're out of your estate and not part of the will. You can't pull them back, and nobody can either." I did the math out loud. What if I move 480? That's just under a third. I'd still have the house and about 1-2 in investments, plenty for a quiet life. "That's reasonable," Ava said. "It protects a big chunk immediately." "Draft it," I said. We signed the trust papers with the same witnesses and another heavy seal from Dana. Then I called my broker, Leo Martin. "Transfer 480 from the main account to the trust account Ava emails you. Yes, today." When the confirmation hit my inbox, something that had been sitting on my chest for years finally climbed down and took a nap. Ava warned me about posting. If you say anything publicly, keep it plain and factual. No names, no drama. I wrote one paragraph. Families are built on respect, not financial obligation. After careful thought and professional advice, I've made decisions about my legacy that reflect my values. I hope folks can respect everyone's right to decide how their life's work helps the world. Comments rolled in. Old crew, neighbors, church friends. Nobody asked for details. They wrote, "Proud of you. Stand tall. Good on you." A stranger DM'd me. "You should know what they're planning." Maybe bait, maybe not. I let it sit. 2 days later, Lena called with a voice that had the corners sanded off. "Mom, we handled this wrong. Could we meet? Not about money, just to talk." "Downtown," I said. Noon, packed cafe. I got there early and set my phone face down with the recorder on. Ohio allows one-party consent to record. If you're in the conversation, you can legally record it. They arrived dressed like the script called for humility. Plain clothes, careful expressions. Lena's eyes looked tired, the way eyes look when somebody practices crying in the car. "We don't care about the will," she said. "We just want you back." "I've been reconsidering some things," I said, and watched Miles's eyes do quick math. "Adjustments to the will or the trust?" I let silence collect around us. People hate silence. They pay to make it stop. "We don't need much," he offered. "We're tight on the mortgage. If you could help with, say, $190 or just $5 a month." I wrote $190K plus $5K per mo on a napkin and nodded like I was thinking. "So, money stress is what's kept you from being present as family?" "Exactly," he said. "Once we're secure, we can finally invest in family time. Sunday dinners, holidays." Lena tried a nervous laugh. "I'd even tolerate his parents at Thanksgiving if it meant having you there." I stood and slid the napkin into my pocket. I said, "This has been clarifying," and left. In the car, I saved the audio to 3 places before turning the key. Ava scheduled the meeting. Across from us sat Lena, Miles, and their lawyer, Trevor. Hair perfect, cufflinks louder than they needed to be. He opened with the voice people use when they're already writing the press release.
My clients believe these recent decisions were made under acute emotional distress. In the interest of avoiding costly litigation, they're prepared to settle if Ms. Moore is restored as primary beneficiary with a minimum of 1.1. Ava didn't blink. She slid papers across the table. Dr. Patel's clean cognitive report, Dr. Doyle's competency evaluation, Dana's notary affidavit, my timeline. Trevor tried again. The emotional context shows deliberation, Ava said. 24 hours, legal counsel, standardized execution, not impulsive. And 3 days ago, Ms. Moore executed an irrevocable charitable trust moving $480 out of the estate. Miles's mouth opened like a garage door. You did what? It's gone, Ava said, calm as rain, not subject to contest. Lena looked at Trevor. She can't just, can she? Trevor's face quietly calculated the billable hours he wasn't going to get. Ava tapped a small recorder. There's one more thing, she said. You should hear this. She pressed play. Miles's voice filled the room. Once we're financially secure, we can really invest in family time. Even $5 a month would stabilize things. Lena's faint laugh about tolerating his parents at Thanksgiving followed. 91 words that melted their case. Trevor stared at the table for a count of 5, leaned in, whispered something that didn't sound friendly, then straightened. After reviewing the documentation, my clients will withdraw their challenge. I stood. Lena's tears slid like they wanted witnesses. Mom, please, this can't be the ending. 5 years ago, you chose money over me. You stopped calling until you saw a car photo. Then you called with a price tag. Now you know what that choice costs. You'll regret this. People confuse warnings with prophecies. I've already made peace with the right regrets. I walked out without touching the door hard. There's a quiet power in not needing a dramatic exit.
The following Monday, I drove to the Riverview Trade and Skills Center, a squat brick building tucked behind an old body shop. Inside, it smelled like machine oil, coffee, and determination. Sparks fell from the booths like orange rain. The steady buzz of grinders filled the air. A woman in her 50s with a tool belt and tired eyes looked up from a clipboard. "You must be Ms. Moore," she said. "Guilty," I said. "I'm Angela Park, director here. You're the reason we ordered 4 new welders last week." "That fast?" I asked. "That fast," she grinned. "Our students don't wait." We walked the floor. A veteran with a prosthetic hand guided a younger student's torch hand. 2 trainees argued over how to square a door without losing margin. It sounded like the job sites I'd known. Grit, noise, pride, that particular kind of language that always softened around me just a little because I was the only woman on site until they realized I knew more about load calculations than they did. Angela stopped at a station where a woman in her 40s was laying a careful bead. "Marta, this is Ms. Moore," she said. "I used to work kitchens," she said. "Back and knees gave out. This is hot too, but it pays you back. It's work that doesn't hate you." "You already look like you belong," I said. She laughed once, short and real. "Tryin'." Angela watched her a second. "That's what your money did," she whispered. Out in the lot, the heat hung low, and the street smelled faintly of cut metal and asphalt. "Most owners just mail a check," she said. "Thanks for showing up." "Showing up is how I stayed alive," I said. On the drive home, the Audi felt different. Same leather, same quiet, but it didn't hum like luxury anymore. It felt like purpose, like a truck again. That night, Hank waved me over from his porch. 2 cold beers lined the railing like we were clocking in. "You handled that mess clean," he said. "Still smells," I said. "Smell fades. Paper lasts. You documented everything?" every word, I said. He nodded once. Then you did the right thing. We watched fireflies rise out of the yard. For the first time in months, my chest felt light. The next afternoon, my phone buzzed with a number I almost didn't recognize. Lena. I let it go to voicemail. Her message came through shaking, not angry, like someone trying to stand on a floor that just dropped an inch. Mom, I got laid off today. They're cutting half the department. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I stared at the phone, then called Ava. You're not required to fix this, but you're not forbidden to be kind. Keep it short, summarize in writing after. If you help, make it indirect. Connections, not cash. I called Lena back. She answered on the first ring. I heard your message, I said. I know you don't owe me anything, she whispered. I thought I had more time. Time lies, I said. Let's find something real. Silence. Then, what do I do? Job market's rough, I said. There's a trades program I'm working with. They place fast. And I heard about an opening in medical admin at Haven West. I'll text you a resume coach who rebuilt mine once. He's blunt, but it works. She exhaled, half sob, half surrender. Thank you. I'm not sending money, I said. I know, she said. For once, I believed her. After we hung up, I texted Ava. Provided resources, no transfers, no promises. Then I sent Lena 3 numbers and 1 line. Use what helps, ignore what doesn't. Offering help in kind keeps the heart and the paper clean. 2 days later, Trevor posted a vague thought piece online about elder coercion in estate planning. No names, but Cleveland isn't that big. A former foreman texted me the link. Want me to respond? No, I typed. Silence is louder. Ava saw it too. We can answer, she said, but sometimes dignity is stronger than noise. We drafted 2 sentences and left them in a folder on my desktop. That was enough. That weekend, I opened a blank document and titled it, If You're Reading This, I'm Gone. I wrote 2 letters, one for Lena, one for nobody in particular. To Lena, I didn't mention the car or the will. I wrote about the night she was 9, counting seconds between lightning and thunder, crawling into my bed and gripping my arm like it was the only stable thing in the world. I wrote, I didn't choose the fun to hurt you. I chose it because it builds lives from the ground up, the way I used to. One beam, one nail, one tired but honest day at a time. I hope you build one too. To the stranger I'll never meet, I wrote, if your well looks crooked, stop and fix it. Covered mistakes stay mistakes. So does life. There's no shame in grinding and starting over. The only shame is pretending it was perfect when you know it wasn't. I printed both, signed them, and slid them into the safe behind the old paint cans and the box of Christmas ornaments I never quite finished hanging. Monday morning, the doorbell rang. The camera showed Miles in a wrinkled suit. I could have let him talk to the doorbell. I didn't. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me. I came to apologize, he said. For once, it didn't sound rehearsed. Go ahead, I said. I treated you like a bank, he said. I figured if I pushed the right buttons, money would come out. I pushed Lena, too. You didn't deserve that. You're right, I said. He stared at the lawn. We're trying to reset. She's sending resumes. I sold the truck. We'll figure it out. I believe you'll be something. Fine is earned. He swallowed. I'm sorry for how I talked to you in your house 5 years ago and at dinner. It matters, I said. Doesn't change paper, but it changes air. He blinked, not sure if that was forgiveness. Okay, he said at last. He stuck out his hand. I shook it. His grip felt like someone steadying himself on a rail. After he left, I emailed Ava. Miles apologized. No commitments. 2 weeks later, Marta texted a photo of a perfect silver bead. Past stainless today. Next up, pipeline. I stared at it longer than I'd stared at my car. Then I dragged a dented red toolbox out of my garage, oiled the hinges, filled it with tools that deserved a busier life, and drove it to the center. I left it on a bench with a note, for whoever shows up early and stays late. On my way out, I saw a flyer. Tool drive, Saturday. I grabbed a Sharpie and wrote at the bottom, I'll match the first $6,000 in tools with gift cards. Then I left before anyone could say thanks. That night, I posted one photo. A gloved hand guiding a torch. Sparks hanging like stars. Caption, I spent decades building houses. Now I'm helping build careers. Comments poured in. Old coworkers, neighbors, guys, and a few women I hadn't seen in years. One wrote, about time you bragged about something that matters. Another, I've got a spare compressor. Where do I drop it? Hank left a thumbs up. Ava said nothing, which was exactly the right amount of lawyer. Lena didn't like the post. I was fine. Not everything is for everyone. On Wednesday, the coffee table wobbled again. 4 loose screws, 1 split bracket. 2 years of pretending it was fine. I flipped it over, tightened, glued, clamped, set a timer, and sat on the floor while it cured. You learn a lot about a thing from below. The timer beeped. I set the table upright and pressed a corner. Solid. There's a satisfaction you can't buy. The quiet click of something finally right. A week later, a real letter arrived in my mailbox. Lena's. She wrote that the resume coach rebuilt her resume like a bridge that won't collapse. She had 2 interviews lined up. She said she felt proud and embarrassed at the same time and didn't know what to do with that feeling. She didn't ask for money. At the bottom, small, she wrote, if you ever want coffee, no agenda, I'd like that. I didn't answer that day, or the next. I took the letter to the porch and let the paper warm in the sun like bread proofing on a good day. Then I wrote, coffee's fine, Sunday, 10 a.m., the place on Main you liked in high school. I'll be there whether you are or not. I mailed it and didn't track it. If she came, she came. If not, I'd still show up. I got to the cafe 10 minutes early, ordered black coffee and a cinnamon roll I'd regret. Sat by the window, not the corner. No need for the tactical seat this time. At 10:03, she walked in, hair pulled back, folder under her arm like armor. She froze a beat, like the old thunder counting days, then came over. We didn't hug. we didn't perform. "How's the car?" she asked. "Still faster than I need," I said. "How's your resume?" "Meaner than it used to be," she said, smiling a little, in a good way. We sipped. The radio played a song, 20 years late to quit. I remembered her humming it in the back seat once, kicking her feet against the upholstery. "I'm not asking for money," she said. "I know." "I was wrong," she added, the words scraping out. "About a lot." "So was I said. "Like what?" "I thought if I kept the door open long enough, you'd walk back through," I said. "Turns out a person can hold the door so long their arm goes numb. Doors don't make people come home." She nodded. "I thought if I waited long enough, you'd cave. Turns out I was the one who broke." We laughed once softly and talked about nothing. Weather, a neighbor's dog, the lousy baseball season, a job lead she liked. Normal talk. Real talk. When we finished, she said, "I don't know if I can fix everything." "Good. Everything's too heavy. Fix one small thing at a time." She took a breath that sounded like a truce. "Okay." We stood. No hug. Not yet. But we didn't flinch. Outside, the sky couldn't decide between rain and shine. We waved like neighbors. Repair is slow. Money doesn't fast-forward trust. That night, I made a list. The first real one in years. 4 columns on a yellow pad. Keep, fix, donate, scrap. Under keep, morning walks, black coffee, the fund, Hank, Ava, the car, for now, quiet Sundays, coffee with Lena, tentative. Under fix, the taxes folder, my cholesterol, the leaky hose bib, the letter to my brother I never sent. Under donate, extra coats, old tools, books I'll never reread, the baby clothes I'd saved just in case that deserved a second life, and under scrap, guilt I can't use, the story where I'm always the victim, the belief that love equals rescue, the habit of answering every crisis with my wallet. I slept like a woman whose workshop was finally in order. Next morning, I stopped by Ava's office. "Legacy letters for the safe," I said, handing her a folder. "Notes on contact, no transfers, updated inventory." She flipped through, raised an eyebrow. "Most clients don't think like this." "Most clients never poured concrete in February," I said. She smiled. "You're still a foreman at heart." "Someone has to be," I said. As I turned to leave, she said, "You did good, Margaret." I nodded. Some compliments you fold up and keep for later. Saturday, the back lot of the center looked like a hardware store holiday. Old-timers lugged scarred toolboxes. New students carried tape measures and safety glasses in plastic bags. Little kids chalked the sidewalk with crooked houses and very serious stick welders. One girl, maybe 6, with pigtails and mismatched socks, looked up at me and said, "Are you one of the grandmas who buys the tools?" "Something like that," I said. She nodded like that settled it and went back to drawing sparks in neon pink. Angela called out totals from a clipboard. When we crossed $6,000 in donated gear, the place erupted like an underdog hit a 3 at the buzzer. I handed over the matching gift cards and slipped out before anyone could thank me. At my car, Marta caught up, breathless, holding a bundle wrapped in shop towel. "For you," she said. Inside was a steel trivet, Clean TIG corners, brushed smooth. My first piece that wasn't practice, she said. You eat, right? I do, I said, throat tight. Then use it, she smiled. Work that's never used gets lonely. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A picture from Lena, an offer letter. Healthcare administration. Decent pay. Better hours. I start next week, thanks. For the advice, not the money. Proud of you, I texted back and hit send before I could edit pride. I cooked breakfast. Eggs, toast, bacon the doctor wouldn't love. I set the hot pan on Marta's trivet like it was a crown and ate slow. Out the window, the yard looked the same. Fence, grass, sky, but steadier somehow. I don't know if this is the end. Maybe it's just the calm part where the sawdust settles. What I do know is this. Money is a tool. It can build or destroy depending on whose hands hold it. I spent too many years mistaking love for rescue. Turns out love sometimes looks like keeping your wallet closed, but your heart open. If your table wobbles, don't toss it. Flip it over. Find the crack. Glue it. Clamp it. Wait. Then press the corner and see if it holds. You might be surprised how strong something gets once you stop pretending it was never broken. A month later, I drove back to the training center for a Friday graduation. The parking lot was full of dented pickups and one church van that looked like it had 1,000,000 honest miles on it. Inside, folding chairs faced a plywood stage. Angela read names. People clapped like they meant it. Families cried the way relief makes people cry. Marta walked across in a black t-shirt the program had screen printed yesterday. When she spotted me in the back, she lifted her certificate like a wrench. After, she hugged me quick and hard, then pointed at a guy in a new hard hat. Pipeline foreman, she said. Interview, Monday. Pride can light a room better than any bulb. On the way home, I stopped by my bank. I added payable on death designations to 2 accounts, so the right money passes straight to the charity without paperwork circus later. The banker slid forms over the desk like dealing cards and said I was very organized, which is Midwestern for I've seen some messes and this ain't one. That night, Lena texted a photo of the sky gone pink over the river. Nice view tonight, she wrote. I answered with nothing more than the little heart. It was the right amount. Sunday, we met for coffee again. No folder this time, just 2 mugs and that cinnamon roll I keep pretending I won't order. She talked about the new job, same ladder, better wall. She said her manager used the phrase, clear expectations, and she liked how that felt in her mouth. When the conversation slowed, she asked, "Do you ever miss building?" "Every day," I said, and meant it. "But I'm still building, just different material." She nodded, quiet. "I talked to Miles," she said. "We're separating. It's not a bomb, it's just the math stopped working." I didn't cheer. I didn't mourn. "I'm sorry it hurts," I said. "Sometimes the right thing doesn't feel good yet." We sat with that sentence until it stopped sounding like advice and started sounding like gravity. On Tuesday, Ava and I met in her conference room to tidy the edges. We set small charitable gifts to auto-send each year, so the programs don't have to guess. We moved the old truck stop piece of land I still owned into the trust, so it wouldn't surprise anyone later. We added a short letter to the front of the estate binder that said, in plain words, who to call and what box to open first. She told me it was overkill. I told her overkill is what keeps bridges up. I went home and cleaned the garage like it owed me money. I sorted nails out of coffee cans, sharpened chisels that hadn't seen daylight since dial-with internet, and put a bright piece of masking tape on the handle of every tool that bites if you look at it wrong. When the floor was swept and the bench was clear, I sat on the little rolling stool and watched the last dust float down. The quiet felt earned. A week later, an envelope came from the center with 3 handwritten notes. One from a kid who barely filled the page. Thanks for the boots. Another from a single mom who signed her name with a flourish that made me smile. I can live my son and my paycheck again. The third was from Angela. You didn't just give us tools, you gave us time. I pinned that one above the workbench where I keep the tape measure that lies the least. On a Thursday night, Lena and I tried dinner at a diner that hasn't changed the coffee since 1984. We talked like people who want to keep talking. When the check came, I grabbed it and she let me, then slipped 2 20s under the edge and said, "Tip's mine." It wasn't about the money. It was about the angle of it. Outside, under a humming neon sign, she asked, "Do you think we'll ever get back to, normal?" I looked at the parking lot oil stains and thought about how stains don't go away. They just stop being the first thing you see. "I think we'll get somewhere sturdy," I said. "Sturdy beats normal." Later that month, I sat with Hank on his porch while the cicadas tuned up. He told me his grandson wanted to be a lineman, the high wire kind, not the football kind. "That work'll make a man out of him," Hank said, eyes shining like he could already see the bucket truck. We toasted with iced tea like 2 old friends who finally learned when to call it a night. I started keeping a small notebook in my back pocket again. Not for steps or calories or any of the modern stuff. Just numbers and names and questions I didn't want to lose. I wrote down the serials of the new welders and the name of the guy who offered the compressor. I wrote down the date Lena started her job and the name of the cafe where the cinnamon rolls are better than their ingredients. I wrote down one line I heard in my head while I was brushing my teeth. The opposite of rescue is respect. One rainy afternoon, I pulled the estate binder off the shelf and flipped through to make sure nothing had shifted when I wasn't looking. I added a note in the front pocket. If something happens to me, call Ava, call Angela, call Hank. Then I tucked in a photo. Me in a hard hat from '93, standing in front of a house we framed so square the siding crew bought us lunch. I closed the cover and set it back, not like a chore finished, but like a tool put away clean. Saturday, the center's tool drive turned into a block party. Kids chalked the sidewalk with crooked houses and very serious stick welders. Someone had drawn a woman with a hard hat and Boss Grandma written under her. I didn't ask who they meant. I didn't need to. A guy from the Union Hall gave a speech I didn't stay for. I hauled a crate of donated clamps from one table to another, and nobody tried to give me a plaque. It was perfect. On the way out, Angela caught my sleeve. "We started a small scholarship in your name," she said, reading my face before I could form a sentence. "Wait," she added, hand up. "It's for boots and first month bus passes only. Nothing fancy. We called it the Start on Monday Fund." I laughed. Then I had to look at the parking lot for a second so my eyes could find themselves again. That night, Lena called from her porch. I could hear rain clicking on her railing. "Today, I almost asked you for help with the deposit on a new place," she said, honest as a level. "I didn't. I called the HR number you gave me and asked about their relocation stipend. They said yes." I leaned back in my chair until it creaked. "Look at you," I said, "doing math that adds up." We didn't talk long. We didn't need to. When we hung up, I walked to the living room and pressed on the corner of the coffee table out of habit. Still solid. On a quiet Tuesday, I drove the long way along the lake and let the water be the loudest thing in my head. I parked near the pier and watched two teenagers jump in with their shoes on, like the lake was a trampoline. When I turned back toward the car, an old guy in a Union jacket gave me the chin nod strangers give each other when they recognize the same brand of tired. We didn't say a word. We didn't have to. At home, I cooked dinner in a pan that's older than most of my tools and set it on Marta's steel trivet like a medal on a table. I ate slow. Somewhere in the neighborhood, a garage band butchered a classic, and I smiled anyway. Before bed, I sat at the desk and wrote one last thing in the notebook. If your life wobbles, don't buy a new one. Flip it over. Find the split. Glue. Clamp. Wait. Then press on the corner. If it holds, keep it. If it doesn't, build another. This time on level ground. I closed the notebook, turned off the lamp, and let the house breathe. Morning light came through the blinds in thin gold stripes. The house smelled like coffee and rain. I poured a cup and stepped out onto the porch. The world was quiet enough that you could hear the leaves dripping. Down the block, Hank's dog barked once at a squirrel and then gave up. The mail truck clattered past. It was nothing special, and that was the point. Lena texted a photo of her first day badge clipped to a lanyard. Under it, she'd written, "Made it through orientation. Didn't cry once." I answered, "Proud of you. Keep your head down and your heart open." A minute later, she sent back just one word, "Trying." I smiled, slipped the phone into my pocket, and looked out at the yard. The hostas had filled in thick, and the bird bath leaned the same 2 degrees it always had. I could fix it, but maybe not everything needed to be perfect. I walked into the garage and ran my hand along the bench. Every tool was where it belonged, gleaming faintly in the half light. That red toolbox wasn't there anymore, and that made the space feel right, like something had moved forward. Ava's words came back to me from months ago. "You did good, Margaret." Back then, it sounded like paperwork. Now it sounded like peace. I took a long breath and said it out loud to no one in particular. "You did good too." The neighborhood started to wake up. A car door slammed, a radio hummed. The sky turned that stubborn gray-blue Ohio carries before it remembers how to be clear. I sipped the last of the coffee and went back inside. At the table, the glue lines under the wood had vanished into the grain. You couldn't see the repair unless you knew where to look. That felt like the right kind of ending. One that holds, quietly, without needing to explain itself. I put the empty mug in the sink and stood for a second, listening to the small noises a house makes when it's alive. The heater settling, a board sighing under its own weight, the refrigerator humming like an old friend who never stops talking. I looked around the kitchen. Nothing fancy, but everything worked. That had become my definition of wealth. Things that work, people who try, mornings that start simple. The phone buzzed again. One new message from Lena. "Coffee next Sunday? Same place?" I typed, "You're buying this time." She sent back a laughing emoji, the first one from her in years. Outside, the rain had stopped. Sunlight slid across the wet fence, turning every droplet into a mirror. I stepped out and walked to the gate. The boards I'd sistered in last spring had dried straight, solid, reliable. A car rolled by, slow. A kid in the back seat waved. I waved back. Just like that, the world felt stitched together again. Not perfect, but holding. Back inside, I opened the notebook on the counter and wrote a final line under yesterday's entry. Respect builds longer than rescue ever will. I tore the page out, folded it once, and slipped it into my wallet behind my license. Something to carry. Not a lesson, just a reminder. The day stretched ahead. Errands, a hardware store stop, maybe lunch somewhere with too much noise. Ordinary things. The kind that don't ask for anything except to be lived. I turned off the kitchen light, locked the door, and stepped into the sunlight. The boards under my feet didn't creak. The air smelled clean. And for the first time in a very long time, I didn't feel like I owed anyone a thing. If this story touched your heart, you're welcome to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Until the next story.